Strategy number one when it comes to negotiating your salary is this: avoid the money conversation until the very end. Do not bring it up. I don't understand why candidates miss this point. I think it's because a lot of times they might go onto into an interview on their own, and they don't want to waste a lot of time, so they just jump right into it and basically ask, well, what kind of salary range, or what are the requirements, or I'm looking for at least X amount of dollars. I just want to see if this is something viable so we're not wasting anybody's time. And I can appreciate that when you're talking with a recruiter. But when dealing specifically with an employer, which is kind of the angle we're taking here, you do not want to bring up the money conversation until the very end. That's not something like in a first interview when they say, okay, do you have any questions? Hitting the salary question is a bad idea. You want, and remember this word, you want to have leverage. If you can have leverage and they're sold on you, they've checked your references, they know what kind of work you're capable of doing, they like you, the rest of the team is sold on you. I mean, you've gone through the process, you've done the first interview, you've done the second interview, you've got the approval of several people, and they're really sold on you, then it's going to be more difficult because you're holding more cards. It's going to be more difficult for them because you're holding the cards now and you've allowed the thing to sway in your favor. They are into it. They have given up control of the process because they really want you to come on board. And so you want to be careful about bringing up anything to do with about money. It seems unnatural because it's so important, but I'm telling you, just let it go and don't worry about it until you get farther along in the process. You really want to avoid the money conversation until the very end. Now, here's an example of what I'm referring to when I talk about avoiding the money conversation until the end. So if they were to bring it up and say, okay, let's assume this is on the first interview, and they were to say, well, what are you looking for in terms of salary? I mean, they just kind of hit it straight on. Then you can have an easy response. It's easy to say. You can say something to the effect of, well, I'm sure that you'd make a fair offer. To be honest, I'd really like to get a better feel for the duties, responsibilities, the time level commitment, really get an understanding of what you're looking for, and that will give me a better feel for exactly where the money would kind of fall into place. So you've not said that you've not been rude. You've acknowledged that they would probably make a fair offer. You've acknowledged that you really want to get a better feel for the position. You could also wrap it up by saying, this company's definitely one I'm very interested in. Everything sounds good so far. It would help me if I got a better feel for what you guys were looking for in the process. So I'm sure that's something we can bring up later on in the process if both of us are still interested. And so that's just one idea. There's many others, but just remember about the idea of leverage. Keep leverage and make sure that you avoid any talks about money until the very end.